Oh, even Dev Money left. Okay, no problem. Tatpadika, we will anyway go. Whoever is there or not,
we will do it, madam.
Yeah. So I'll share the answer sheet now, Tatpadika. We can discuss the answers of that last week test. Do you have the answer sheet with you?
Yes, ma'am. I have screen photo, I think, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. You can just note down the answers when I discuss. You can just note it down. Un Tamilarazi?
Ma'am.
Yes. We are going to discuss. Last week, why didn't you write the test, Ma? In reproductive health, you didn't take the test.
Ma'am, exams were going, ma'am.
Exam ide?
Sir, full portion exam.
Full portion exam. அதாவது மாடல் எக்ஸாம் போட்டு அவங்கள சாகடிப்பாங்க. இந்த ஸ்கூலுக்கு வந்து அது ஐ டோன்ட் நோ. திஸ் இஸ் ப்ராப்ளம் வித் ஸ்டேட் போர்டு. எல்லா போர்டும் தான் இப்போ.
எனக்கு புரியல, இந்த எஜுகேஷன் சிஸ்டமே நல்லா இல்லை, எனக்கு பிடிக்கவே இல்லைங்க. ரொம்ப படுத்துறாங்க போட்டு.
ஆமா, ரொம்ப படுத்துறாங்க. ஒண்ணு நோயிங் வேல். இப்ப இந்த நீட் மாதிரி எம்பிபிஎஸ் ஜாயின் பண்றவங்க அந்த என்ட்ரன்ஸுக்கு தான் அவங்க ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணணும்.
அவங்களுக்கு கொஞ்சம் டைம் கொடுக்கணும் இல்ல, மத்ததும் ப்ரிப்பேர்
எழுதுன்னு போட்டு அவன் கையே வலிக்கும். பூந்தமல்லி அரிசி கை வலிக்குதா உங்களுக்கு? உங்க கை ஸ்ட்ராங்கா இருக்க மாட்டேங்குது. நிறைய பேருக்கு கை வலிக்குதுங்கிறாங்க.
Yeah, what to do? That's an unfortunate situation of India now. என்ன பண்றது? எல்லா இடத்துலயுமே எல்லா போர்டுமே எல்லா ஸ்கூல்ஸுமே and all the students of your age is facing the same problem.
அங்க பிரைவேட் ஸ்கூல் எப்படின்னா அந்த கரஸ்பாண்ட் இருக்கார் இல்லையா, நாங்க தான் சம்பளம் கொடுக்குறோமேன்னு வேலை வாங்குறாரு அவரு. நீங்க வேலை கொடுக்க. கவர்மெண்ட்ல அந்த கல்வி மந்திரி அந்த மந்திரி எல்லாம் எக்கச்சக்கமான வேலை கொடுக்குறாங்க டீச்சர்ஸ்க்கு.
அப்படியா? அது something new I have not heard of.
No, government teachers, they can spend for teaching only 33% of their time. 66% some work or other they are given some other work.
அப்ப how can they devote time to children?
புரியாதே. அந்த டீச்சர்கள்லாம் கொஞ்சம் சொல்றாங்க, சில அந்த அளவு ஒரு வாய்ஸ் ரைஸ் பண்ணி சொல்றது இல்ல டீச்சர்கள். In fact, I was shouting at the teachers also. ஏன்னா நீங்க சொல்லனா அப்புறம் யார் சொல்லுவா? 33% of time கூட they don't spend in teaching. Every day they have to ஏதோ ஒரு ஸ்டாட்டிஸ்டிக்ஸ் கலெக்ட் பண்ணி அனுப்புறது, பிடிக்கிறது, இந்த மாதிரி கம்ப்யூட்டர் ஒர்க் பண்றாங்க நல்லா.
இல்ல, அது என்ன பண்றாங்க இதெல்லாம் வந்து நானும் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். பிரைவேட் ஸ்கூல்ஸ்ல இந்த மாதிரி இருக்கு சார். நான் வந்து ஐ ஆல்வேஸ் டெல் இந்த டீச்சர்ஸ் மீட்டிங், ஐ மீன் கிவ் ஆல் த ஒர்க் டு த டீச்சர்ஸ். ஐ மீன் கம்ப்யூட்டர் சயின்ஸ், லைப்ரரியன், அந்த மாதிரி லாங்குவேஜ் டீச்சர்ஸ், தே டோன்ட் ஹேவ் மச் ஒர்க் அட் ஆல். அவங்க கிட்ட இதெல்லாம் ரெஜிஸ்டர் ஒர்க் எல்லாம் கொடுத்துட்டு சப்ஜெக்ட் டீச்சர்ஸுக்கு டைம் நிறைய கொடுங்க அப்படின்னா கேட்க மாட்டாங்க. They want to keep minimum people and extract more work.
அது அந்த இங்க கவர்மெண்ட் ஸ்கூல் அதே மாதிரி தான். they don't put the new teachers. யாராவது ஒருத்தர் ரிட்டையர் ஆயிட்டா போடுறதில்ல, இல்ல விலகிட்டா போடுறதில்ல. and vacancies are there in I know one school total sanctioned teachers வந்து 55, அங்க 25க்கு மேல இருந்ததே இல்ல. இப்ப 15 பேர் தான் இருக்காங்க.
அந்த மாதிரி இருந்தா அப்புறம் என்னங்க நம்ம வந்து
என்ன அந்த அந்த 10th குழந்தைக்கே ஒரு 7வது அளவுல நாலேஜ் தான் இருக்கு. அது கூட இல்ல.
அதுதான் தட்ஸ் வாட் ஹேப்பன்ஸ். இந்த மாதிரி நம்ம வந்து குழந்தைங்களுக்கு எனக்கெல்லாம் டீச்சிங் பண்ணணும்னு ஆசைப்பட்டு போயிட்டு எனக்கு என்னுடைய சப்ஜெக்டே டீச் பண்ணாம நான் என்ன பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோனே புரியாம நான் வெளியில வந்துட்டேன்.
ஆமாமா, இது திஸ் இஸ் மை சிஸ்டர் வந்து டீச்சர் ஃபார் 40 இயர்ஸ் ஆர் சம்திங். முக்கால் அழுதுட்டே போயிட்டு இருப்பா. அதுக்கு ஐ கிவ் சம் அதர் சில டெக்னிக்ஸ் டு தி டீச்சர்ஸ். பட் அது தட் வில் சேவ் only some time, not அவங்களுக்கு
இல்ல அது முடியறது இல்ல. ஆக்சுவலா நிஜமாவே வர்க் நிறைய இருக்கும், பேப்பர் வர்க் நிறைய இருக்கும். All right, so yeah, we will discuss a paper. I am sharing a Word document with you. One second. One second, children. Are you able to see the question paper? Reproductive health. Oh, I don't know if I shared you.
it's not presented till now.
Yeah. 1 second. That's what even I'm thinking. Why it's not coming? Now are you able to see?
Yes, it has come.
Okay. All right. And now quickly, there are 31 questions. Quickly, we will go through the 31 questions and discuss it quickly, and then we can move on to the. Next unit is genetics, but I am not going to take genetics. I am going to go to the next unit after that. That is microbes in human welfare. So anyway, we will discuss that after finishing discussing this question paper. Okay. So first question, in India, wider reproduction related areas are currently in operation under?
RCH program,
Yeah, can you expand that?
reproductive and child health care,
Yes. So actually the improved programs covering wider reproduction related area currently are under the popular name. Actually that whatever program is going on, that is, I mean, they have named it as reproductive and child health care. That is RCH. So the option is C. Second one, in the menstrual cycle of a fertile woman, which period is called the risky period of the consumption?
option C,
Yes, from 10th to 17th day. So that period actually is a fertile window or the ovulation period, we say. And then third one, 10th to 17th is the option C. Yes. And the third question, select the statement which is not correct about coitus interruptus.
option C,
It protects the user from STD and IH. No, it does not protect. So anyway, since it comes in contact, such diseases are, the sexually transmitted disease and AIDS. They get infected by that. Okay, so such patients, who already are infected with that, should use condoms. All right. The fourth question, which one is correct about lactational amenorrhea?
less effective with no side effects,
Yes, option B. Yes, option B. That is, what is this lactational amenorrhea method? Actually, is the something like a birth control that relies on hormones your body makes while breastfeeding. So, there is no strict, if you strictly meet the guidelines, 98% it can be effective. It will prevent pregnancy, but for the first 6 months. But after that, it's not reliable. And even that first 6 months, person to person, it differs. So, you cannot be rest assured that it's 100% reliable. And the next, fifth question, which of the following is not a traditional or natural contraceptive method?
spermicidal creams,
Yes, spermicidal cream. That is some cream to avoid, to reduce the intensity of the speed or more motility of the sperm. So that's option A. 6 of the following, which one is odd one?
LNG 20.
Yes, LNG 20 is the odd man out because the CUT, CU7 and multi-load 375 are all copper releasing IUDs. That is intra-urethral device. And then this one, the LNG20 is the IUD that releases levonorgestrel, cause endometrial atrophy and alter the stroma to inhibit implantation. So completely that function is different and this function is different. So that way, that is the odd man out. Option D is the correct answer. So seventh one, which one is not true statement about IUDs? See, option D is the correct answer because see, the option D says it's inserted by doctors or expert nurses in the uterus through incision of abdomen. அப்படின்னாக்க surgery பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு அப்படி கிடையாது. It's just inserted by hand only by the doctor or expert nurse. So this option is not true. Option D is the right answer for this question. Eighth one, oral contraceptive pills are made up of
Estrogen and progesterone.
yes, estrogen and progesterone. So the most birth control pills are combination pills only. That is contains a mix of hormones of these two, both estrogen and progesterone, to prevent the ovulation, that is the release of an egg during the monthly menstrual cycle. So அப்படின்னாக்கா அந்த மாதிரி டைம்ல வந்து pregnancy can't happen if a female doesn't ovulate because there is no egg to be fertilized. All right. So option A is the correct answer. Ninth one, oral contraceptives are prescribed for female because
All of this.
yes, all of this. They prevent passage of sperms via cervix, they prevent ovulation, they prevent implantation, all of these. All right, 10th one, which is not correct about Saheli.
Option 1, it is a non-steroidal hormone.
Yes, it's a non-steroidal hormone. But all the other things are correct. Okay, 11th. Progesterone or estrogen combination are used in
Oral contraceptives and injectables.
yes. Barriers and lippy loop is contraceptive of different method. So this is of different and that is different. So oral contraceptive and injectable combinations use progesterone and estrogen hormones. Okay, and identify the following figure.
Implants.
Yes, option A, implants is a correct option. Copper T and cervical walls are all, diaphragm are all, they'll be in a different shape. This particular one is implant, which can be used as emergency contraceptives.
Option C.
Yes, progesterone and estrogen combination and IUDs. IUDs okay, but these combination they even have contraceptive pills, so it can be used for emergency. Then tubectomy prevents pregnancy by
Option B.
Yes, preventing fertilization. I mean, tubectomy is what to say? It's in. I mean, it's a birth control done in male, so that does not prevent ovulation. So all the other things are all concerned with the female sexual system.
Tubectomy is done in female, ma'am.
What, ma?
Tubectomy, it is done in female. It is the cutting of the fallopian tubes and or oviduct.
Yes. I'm talking about vasectomy. I'm sorry, ma. I made a mistake. So tubectomy is cutting the tube. Both the vasectomy and tubectomy are cutting the tube. That I mean the vas difference is cut in vasectomy, and here this fallopian tube is cut, tubectomy. So that prevents the fertilization, and all the other things keep happening. Ovulation and all happens, but the fertilization alone is prevented. So option B is the correct answer. 15. Which one has the poor reversibility?
Vasectomy.
Vasectomy. I mean, reversibility is very, very rare, because once the vas difference tube is cut, it's like the man almost becomes like a sterile. So to reverse the condition becomes very difficult. Which is not correct about vasectomy and tubectomy?
Option A.
Yes, both are the methods of ART. Yes, correct. Now select the mismatching pair.
Option C.
Yes, MTP. This MTP is medical termination of pregnancy. So that is not sterilization in male. That's wrong. Okay. 18. MTP are safe up to how many weeks of pregnancy?
12 weeks.
Yes, 12 weeks is correct. So amniocentesis can be used to
All of the above.
Yes, all. Sex of the baby and metabolic disorders and congenital disorders, everything can be studied. Yes. Now 20. Which one of the following groups includes all STD?
Option C.
Yes. Yeah, 1 second. 21. I'm not able to push it above. Okay. 21. Select the viral STDs.
Option C.
Yes, AIDS, hepatitis, and genital herpes. Yes. I mean, the STDs can be due to bacteria or virus or any other parasites. Like those STDs, I mean, the sexually transmitted diseases produced occurs because of bacteria is gonorrhea, syphilis, and chlamydia. And then the parasites, due to parasites, trichomoniasis, that is one sexually transmitted disease, for example. And then viruses, which caused by viruses, papilloma virus, it's caused human papilloma virus, HPV, and herpes simplex virus, and then human immunodeficiency virus, that is HIV. So which causes AIDS? So there are different types of STDs, and then caused by virus, whatever. One second. I'll go back to the question. Yeah. So here option C is the correct answer. You're right. AIDS, hepatitis B, and genital herpes. Which of them are not completely curable?
Option D, ma'am.
Yes, hepatitis B, genital herpes, and HIV are not completely curable. Okay. 23. Which is common to hepatitis B and HIV?
Option D, ma'am.
Yes, option D. 24. Which of the following method cannot prevent venereal disease? Venereal disease is old term, that is old name for sexually transmitted disease. Use of progesterone and estrogen. Use of progesterone and estrogen combination as implants. If you implant those things, that serves as a birth control, not as a prevention for sexually transmitted disease. So for that, you have to use either, only thing is, what to say? Oh my God, I forgot that one. So only by using that, you can avoid direct contact. So that way, I mean, once it's directly in contact, definitely the disease is going to spread. The person is going to get infected. All right, 25. Test tube baby means a baby born when?
Option D.
Yes, the ovum is fertilized externally and thereafter implanted in the uterus. Yes, correct. Test tube baby means the baby is not born in test tube or anything like that. It's fertilized externally. All right, 26. Embryo transfer can be done after? In vitro fertilization, in vivo fertilization, actually that is it's not in vivo, that is in vivo. Spelling mistake is there. In vivo fertilization and ICSI. So all these, I mean, embryo transfer can be done after these fertilizations externally. The embryo can be transferred and implanted. All right. A single sperm from male partner is injected directly into an egg from female partner is known as?
ICSI.
Yes, ICSA is every egg, a single sperm is injected directly to the egg. Two types of embryo transfer methods are?
ZIFT and IUT.
Yes, I mean the zygote is transfer or intrauterine transfer. Okay. 29. Odd man out.
IUD.
Yes. 30. AI techniques is not useful for? All the other thing can be done except when the female should be fertile. If the female is not fertile, if she is not able to ovulate, then all AA technique will fail. So if the option A is the correct answer. The female partner unable to ovulate, then the AA technique is not useful. All right. Pick up the correct match. 31.
Option B.
Option B is the correct answer. There is IVF, is a test tube baby program, and GIFT is a ovum, putting the ovum into the oviduct, and then C is the AI one, that is introducing semen into vagina, and then D is a ZIFT, that is implanting the zygote. So in the fallopian tube, that will, for that it should be 8-celled embryo into oviduct. And then E is ET, that is performed after in vitro fertilization. So the option B is the correct answer. Very good. Very good, ma. So now we will look at the human health and diseases now. That is your next, unit after this sexual reproduction is the genetics, and the unit after that will be the human health and disease, human microbes and human welfare or something like that. That will be your it'll be human welfare, biology and human welfare. So we are going to unit 8. So unit 8, we are going to see human health and disease and microbes in human welfare. All right, are you able to see the PPT what I'm sharing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the health, it can be said as physical. It all depends on physical, mental, and social well-being. So all these things account to your health. A healthy person should be physically fit and mentally also should be fit. And even social well-being, how we, carries in the socially, everything is there. So health is affected by genetic disorders, infections, and change in lifestyle. So change in lifestyle means, what you eat and how you exercise and what you do, everything, habits and everything counts. Okay. So mind influence, all these things you already know. Mind influences the immune system through neural and endocrine system, and thereby health. So when the function of organs or system of the body is adversely affected, it is called disease. So diseases are of two types, infectious and non-infectious. So infectious means it transmits from one person to another, and non-infectious means actually the person, whoever is infected, only suffers. He doesn't transmit the disease to others. Like for example, if somebody has BP or diabetes, then only those people suffer because of that. Only they have to take the medication, and it's like a lifestyle disorder. We say it's lifestyle disorder. So only those people suffer. Whereas people with STDs, sexually transmitted disease, or oh no, why do we have to go even that far? Even a simple cough and cold, that is infectious. If a person sneezes or coughs, sitting near you, most probable that you may also catch hold of that virus and then get cold. So that is infectious. Okay. So disease causing organisms are called pathogens. They are called, pathogens are parasites, and they are harmful for man. And good humor hypothesis is what? It's proposed by Hippocrates and Indian Ayurveda system. It states that health is a state of mind and body and mind where there is a balance of certain humors. They have three things. In Ayurveda they have Vadam, Pittam, Kabam. And that's what is explained here. Persons with black bile belong to hot personality, would have fevers. It's not fever. Actually, supposedly their body temperature will be slightly high. Temperature will not be high, but when you touch them, you can feel that it's slightly. It's hot. Some people, when you hold the hands or something, it will be cold. So it's like that. They say it depends on the black bile. Though that condition, they say, is one of the humor. And then William Harvey disapproved this hypothesis. He discovered blood circulation and demonstrated normal body temperature in persons with black bile using thermometer. So no, actually, I don't know. Westerners always, not only Westerners, one doctor always disapproves of the other doctor. And the allopathy doctors always disapprove of the Ayurveda. And Ayurveda disapproves homeo. One stream of medicine always is in disagreement with the other stream of medicine. So we can't say this is right and that is wrong, and we don't know. Anyway, if you're going in one stream, then you have to accept it. And everything has some logic. All these Westerners and the latest allopathy treatment came only with the colonial invasion. That is, only after the Britishers came in India, these kind of medicines also came in. So until then, people were having some medicines and treatment and everything. So there are good things and bad things both in allopathy. Like the medical the methods are much simpler, simplified form, and treatment is equipments and everything is also very advanced now. So those days for a tooth extraction, it was just done with the what tongs. The tooth was just extracted without giving any anesthesia. So people really suffered. They didn't have a proper equipment and infrastructure at those times. But now those things are all developed, and then everything is advanced. But doesn't mean that basic whatever the belief or the basic system is itself is wrong. Maybe we can combine the two. We can take the infrastructure from the allopathy and everything, and then we can take whatever the concept from the Ayurvedic and mixed with the two, and then we can treat people. You can even think about it. All right, common infectious diseases in man. Bacterial disease is typhoid. So what are the pathogens? Salmonella typhi. And mode of transmission is small intestine through food and water only. It transferred in and migrates into other organs via blood. Symptoms: sustained high fever, headache, weakness, stomach pain, constipation, loss of appetite, intestinal perforation, and death may occur. If not attended in time. Intestinal perforation, it's a very common thing that happens. The typhoid should not, they always say, no, typhoid, if it occurs, if it recurs, if the person, the same person, if the infected person again get the typhoid, immediately or within a particular span of time, then it's very, very risky. It may turn fatal. Okay. And then the bacterial diseases and the typhoid, what they say, Vidal test. To confirm this one, they do the Vidal test, confirmation of the disease. So Mary Mellon, nicknamed Typhoid Mary, was professional cook. She was a typhoid carrier who continued to spread typhoid for several years through the food that she prepared. So that's why this name. And then pneumonia. Pneumonia, it infects lung alveoli. The alveoli gets filled with fluid, leading to respiratory problems. So pneumonia is a very, very dangerous. If not attended immediately, it can become fatal. All right. What is the pathogen? That is a parasite, Streptococcus pneumoniae, and Haemophilus influenzae. And mode of transmission: inhaling the droplets of air or aerosols. Whatever when somebody coughs or speaks, spits that droplets, releasing by an infected person sharing glasses or utensils with an infected person. So the pneumonia, if somebody is having pneumonia or any such condition, you should not share plates or cups or anything. I mean, say that is friendship, affection, and all. There will be, you have to be careful. All right. So, and then what is the symptom for that? Respiratory problems, fever, chills, cough, headache. In severe cases, lip and finger nails turn gray to bluish color. And then common cold we all get. It infects nose and respiratory passage but not lungs, lasts for 3 to 7 days. So the pathogen is rhinoviruses. It's, I mean, we all know about the cough and cold. Inhaling droplets resulting from cough and sneezes through contaminated objects, and then nasal congestion and discharge, fever, headache, sore throat, cough, hoarseness, tiredness, etc. And then malaria. Malaria is again another risky disease. Pathogen is Plasmodium and then falciparum. Causes most serious malaria. Mode of transmission by biting of female Anopheles mosquito. So that's why you have to be very careful when you sleep. First of all, you have to close your legs and hands. I mean, by a bedsheet or something like that. I mean, whenever don't and see to that you use a proper net and use. I mean, there are a lot of devices to avoid mosquitoes. So use all of that. Symptoms: hemozoin toxin released by Plasmodium causes chill and high fever, recurring every 3-4 days. So it is not. I mean, விட்டு விட்டு ஜுரம் வரும்னு சொல்லுவாங்க மலேரியால அந்த மாதிரி. So life cycle of Plasmodium, it injects and then the life cycle happens inside the human. So you want to go through the life cycle of Plasmodium? So what happens is, first female mosquito sucks the blood with gametocyte, and then fertilization development occurs inside the mosquito gut, and then it matures into sporozoids, and then mosquito bites another human, then the sporozoids are injected and the parasite reaches the liver through the blood, and then asexual reproduction in liver cells, bursting cells release into blood. There it multiplies and then it is released into the blood, and then it carries the asexual reproduction of RBC, bursting RBC release, hemozoin cycles of fever and other symptoms. And then the gametocytes in RBC is there. And then again, when the next time when the this infected person, if another normal mosquito comes and bites, it takes out the gametocytes and then pass it on to the next person. That's how it is transmitted. Okay. Now, protozoan diseases is amoebiasis. Amoebiasis is when you eat, I mean, you should not eat out. Unhygienic places, you should not drink water. You should not eat out. Generally, even if you're attending some functions or wedding or anything, you should not have cut vegetables. I mean, they cut vegetables and fruits. When they cut it and keep it, it's very, very risky. You may end up getting amoebiasis if you eat those cut vegetables. So Endamoeba histolytica, that is a pathogen, and then its mode of transmission: houseflies transmit parasites from fecus to food and water. So what is the symptoms? Constipation, abdominal pain, cramps, stools with excess mucus and blood clots. I mean, anything if it's unattended, it can become serious, but amoebiasis can be cured. All right, Helminth diseases. I mean, common infectious diseases in man. Helminth disease, ascariasis. Pathogen Ascaris, intestinal parasite. Mode of transmission: soil, water, vegetable, fruits contaminated with fecus containing eggs of parasites. Internal bleeding, muscular pain, fever, anemia, blockage of intestinal passage. Very, very dangerous disease is the filariasis. That is elephantiasis, they say. what happens? It's a filarial worms or Wuchereria. That is the pathogen. And again, it's also caused by mosquitoes. That is bite of female Culex mosquito. This filariasis worm live in lymphatic vessels, usually of lower limbs. It causes chronic inflammation of the organs in which they live in for many years. Limbs and genital organs may be deformed. Ringworms. These pathogens they are seen in groin or toes, etc. And then fungal infections, that is ringworms. Microsporum, trichophyton, and epidermophyton. They are seen in groin. And mode of transmission is from soil or by using towel, clothes, comb, etc. Heat or moisture help fungi to grow. So it can happen in any part of the body. Even through food, if you eat, the decayed and spoiled food also, risk is there. Prevention. So, how do you prevent these things? Personal hygiene, keep the body clean, use clean drinking water and food. And then public hygiene is proper disposal of waste and excreta, periodic cleaning and disinfection of water, reservoirs, pools, cesspools, and tanks. Avoid contact with the infected person and their belongings to control airborne diseases. Standard practices of hygiene in public catering. Control and eliminate vectors. Vectors is, by meaning vectors, they say flies and mosquitoes. Okay. Avoid stagnation of water. A regular cleaning of house coolers. If you're using a cooler or air conditioner, you should clean it regularly. And use mosquito nets. And then introduce larvivorous fishes like gambusa in ponds. If you are having a pond in the house or nearby, or if you have any, generally it's better open tank. If some people have open tank, there and all you can't leave fish, but then better to keep it closed. And if you have a lotus pond, something like that in your house, if you're having lotus pond, nowadays, they keep pot with water and then put flowers on top. You can avoid these things at the most. Spraying insecticides in ditches and drainages and swamps. And then provide doors and windows with wire mesh. Vaccines and immunization helps in control diseases like smallpox, polio, diphtheria, pneumonia, and tetanus. Drugs like antibiotics also help to treat infectious disease. Only to some extent, all the infections cannot be treated. Like, for example, filariasis at a later stage cannot be cured. All right. Now, immune system. So, it is the system that gives immunity to the body by recognizing and responding and remembering foreign antigens. So it plays a role in allergic reaction. The allergic reaction, when does people get allergic reaction? Because if something body is not able to take in or body's immunity fights against that particular whatever you eat something. Many people have food allergies. If the body is not able to recognize certain kind of proteins or anything, the body doesn't accept. It's trying to eliminate that. So in the process, it fights with that, and in the process, you get allergic reaction. For example, I'm saying. So autoimmune diseases, there are autoimmune diseases. Autoimmune diseases, the immune system itself, your immune system itself fight with your immune system. It's fighting with its own immune system. Such kind of condition is autoimmune disease. It's a very dangerous disease if left unattended. Like, for example, if you have rheumatoid and all that, it can turn fatal because that is one type of autoimmune disease. Organ transplantation. So all these things, immunity, if the immunity is not very good at organ transplantation, people may die. It includes lymphatic organs, tissues, cells, and antibiotics. All right. Lymphoid organ is the origin, maturation, proliferation, and lymphocytes occur there. So the lymphoid organ are of two types: primary lymphoid organ and secondary lymphoid organ. Now, the primary lymphoid organ is the organs where the lymphocytes are matured and differentiated into antigen sensitive and lymphocytes. It is two types: bone marrow and thymus. Oh my God. The bone marrow is the site for formation of all blood cells, including B and T lymphocytes. Thymus வந்து a bilobed organ seen near the heart and beneath the breastbone. So it is large during birth, but gradually reduces in size and becomes very small in puberty. Immature T lymphocytes from bone marrow is migrated to thymus and matured. Secondary lymphoid organs is spleen and lymph nodes. So, the organs to which matured lymphocytes migrate from primary lymphoid organs interact with antigens and other proliferate to become effector cells. So, what are they? Spleen, lymph nodes, tonsil, and Peyer's patches. Okay. Now, spleen. I think this thing you already know, so I am not going to go into this individually. So we will go to the human immune system directly. So it is the ability to immune system to fight disease causing organisms. So types of immunity is innate and acquired. So everyone has both the immunity. We have innate. We are immune to certain things by nature from birth. We have acquired immunity as we grew. So that is adaptive immunity. So innate immunity is non-specific defense present at the time of birth. That it provides barriers to the entry of foreign agents into your body. Barriers of four types. What are they? Physical barriers, psychological barriers, cellular barrier, and cytokine barriers. Physical barriers is what? Skin prevents foreign body. If the skin is not there, all the water and everything will be, dust and everything will be entering our body, isn't it? So that is prevent entry of the foreign bodies. Anything which is not connected to your body is foreign. That's all. So mucus coating of the lining of respiratory and gastrointestinal urogenital tracts to trap microbes. So that is there. That is a physical barrier. And psychological barriers to prevent microbes growth. It includes gastric HCl, not psychological, I'm sorry children, physiological. Barriers is a gastric hydrochloric acid, saliva, tear, etc. And cellular barriers is phagocytes like WBC, neutrophils, or polymorphonuclear leukocytes. Those are all. They engulf the foreign cells and then they destroy it. Cytokine barriers is virus-affected cells create a cytokine protein called interferon. It protects non-infected cells from further viral infection. Okay, acquired immunity is pathogen-specific immunity developed during lifetime. So you develop pathogens if a particular, it's like a vaccine only. I mean, even vaccines are acute immunity. I mean, you have, the recent times during the pandemic, you would have taken shots, isn't it? Immune shots you would have taken. So those are, and by taking those shots, you would have got immune to that particular virus. So that is acquired immunity. So the primary and secondary immune responses are carried out by B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes. So B lymphocytes produce antibiotics. These are the proteins to fight with pathogens. And T lymphocytes help B lymphocytes produce antibiotics. So those are the two lymphocytes. Okay, an antibody has 4 polypeptide chains, 2 light chains and 2 heavy chains. Types of antibodies is these are given here, you can see. And acquired immunity, types of acute immunity responses, humoral or antibody mediated response and antibody mediated immunity. And the second one is cell mediated response or cell mediated immunity. So it is an immune response mediated by antibodies. Antibodies are found in blood plasma, so called as humoral immune response. So the cell-mediated response or cell-mediated immunity is the immune response mediated by T lymphocytes. The body can differentiate self and non-self, and the CMI cause graft rejection. When they are not able to differentiate, then it becomes autoimmune disease. Okay. So, see, for transplantation, when somebody is going to transplant something, then matching donors with patients, they should see. So recipient is the blood group, and then you know about the blood group, which one accepts and which only gives. If the recipient is O, it can give. O accepts only O. O can give to every all the other blood group. So it's like that. So types of acquired immunity is active and passive. So the active one is natural and artificial, and passive is also natural and artificial. Now we see the active immunity is the immunity in which antibodies are produced in a host body when the host is exposed to antigen. That is living or dead microbes or other proteins. It is a slow process. It is produced in 2 ways: natural active immunity and artificial active immunity. This artificial active immunity is got by vaccines, that is injecting microbes deliberately during immunization. And passive immunity is here ready-made antibodies are directly given to body. That is antibodies from mother placenta and to fetus, and antibodies in colostrum, that is the breastfeeding, and anti-tetanus serum, ATS injection. It's a medication. So by all this, we give the artificial, it's acquired immune. So this one, these are all passive immunization. So with this, I'm going to the next one. Cancer. Cancer is an abnormal and uncontrolled multiplication of cells. All of a sudden, if a cell mutates and then it starts dividing like crazy, multiplying like crazy, then it forms. It forms like a tumor, and then it spreads, and it can kill. If something not normal, it turns very fatal. So this is cancer is one of that cell, our own cell, resulting in formation of a tumor because of uncontrollable multiplication. So normal cells show a contact inhibition. Contact with the other cell inhibits their uncontrolled growth. Cancer cells do not have this property. So types of tumors are two types, benign and malignant. Benign is not harmful, malignant is harmful. Benign tumors, confined to the places of its origin. You would have heard about tumors in many places. Brain tumor, eye tumor here, tumor there. Many places you would have heard. All the tumors are not cancers, all the tumors are not malignant. So they do not spread to the other parts. They become a tumor and then they stay in that place. And anything, which is not normal, if it stays for too long, it's going to turn fatal only. If not fatal, definitely it's going to make a damage to our system. So cause little damage. And then malignant tumors are the ones which spreads to the other parts of the body also. Mass are of proliferating cells, that is neoplastic or tumor cells that grow rapidly, invade and damage the surrounding normal tissue. So what happens is too much of growth and division this cells does, and then it starves the normal cells by competing for the nutrients. All the nutrients is taken for the growth of this malignant tumors alone. So that's how all the other cells or normal cells are all destroyed, and then only this cell keeps growing. Now, the causes of cancer, carcinogens, we say, those types of cells, or the what to say, carcinogens. We say the ones which causes cancer. So, physical agents, ionizing radiations like X-rays and gamma rays, and non-ionizing radiations like UV. If you're exposed too much to X-rays and gamma rays and non-ionizing radiations, UV, you have a more chance for cancer. Chemical agents, you all know: tobacco, smoke, vinyl chloride, caffeine, nicotine, mustard gas, etc. And biological agents, oncogenic viruses, cellular oncogens, or proto-oncogens, etc. Where normal cells is activated, the cells become oncogenic. Oncogenic is cancerous. Cancer detection and diagnosis. How do they detect? Biopsy. Biopsy is the one, they take a little bit of tissue from that place and then give it for examination, and then they find out the cancer cells. Imaging techniques, use of antibodies, and molecular biology techniques. Biopsy is a thin piece of the suspected tissue is stained and examined under the microscope. In case of leukemia, biopsy and histopathological studies, blood and bone marrow tests for increased cell counts are taken additionally. And then imaging techniques is radiography, use X-rays, CT scan, that is computerized tomography scan, and then MRI, magnetic resonance imaging are all done. And then use of antibodies, against cancer specific antigens. Molecular biology technique to detect cancer-related genes. Such individuals should avoid carcinogens, that is tobacco, smoke. And then treatment, there are only limited methods of treatment now. Radiotherapy, chemotherapy, immunotherapy. The patients are given biological response modifiers, which activate their immune system and help to destroying the tumor. Or surgery. Surgery is just cutting down that part. That is one way of treatment. Now, drugs, smoking, and alcohol and abuse. opioids, they bind to specific opioid receptors in CNS and gastrointestinal tract. So that is what are they? Morphine, heroin, and brown sugar. Brown sugar is not brown colored sugar. It's a drug. Opioids is morphine is extracted from latex of poppy plant and Papaver seminiferum. It is a sedative and painkiller used for surgery. I mean, all the drugs are not used for, I mean, it's not bad. But some of them are used for medical purposes also. I mean, even if consumed in a large portion, even that can become bad. The heroin is a white, odorless, bitter crystalline compound. It is obtained from acetylation of morphine. It is taken for snorting and it is taken by snorting or injection. It is a depressant and slow down body functions. Cannabinoids, they interact with a cannabinoid receptor in the brain, generally taken by inhalation or oral injection. And the natural cannabinoid are obtained from inflorescence of plants. Hemp plant. Its plant tops, leaves, resin are used to produce marijuana, hashish, charas, and ganja. They affect cardiovascular system. Cannabinoids are abused by some sports persons. They also, they become disqualified if used. Okay. Cocoa alkaloid and cocaine. It is obtained from cocoa plant. It interferes with transport of neurotransmitter dopamine. Cocaine is usually snorted. It stimulates CNS, producing euphoria in increased energy. Excessive dosage of cocaine causes hallucinations. Some of them are used for medicines like barbiturates, amphetamines, and benzodiazepines are used as medicines to treat mental illness like depression and insomnia by psychiatrists. They are abused, resulting in impairment of physical and physiological or psychological functions. See, tobacco. Tobacco is smoked, chewed, or used as a snuff. It contains many chemical substances like nicotine and alkaloid, which stimulates adrenal gland to release adrenaline or non-adrenaline, causing high BP and heart rate. So smoking causes cancer of lung, urinary bladder, throat, emphysema, bronchitis, coronary heart disease, gastric ulcer, etc. There are so many side effects are there. Still people, why do they smoke? We don't know. Tobacco chewing causes oral cancer. Smoking increases CO content, there is carbon monoxide content in blood and reduces oxyhemoglobin. This causes O2 deficiency in body, that is oxygen deficiency in body. Adolescence and drug alcohol abuse. Adolescence is a period and process during which a child becomes mature in terms of attitudes and beliefs or effective participation in society. So the bridge linking the childhood and adulthood is 12 to 18 years, and then it is a very vulnerable phase. Only, they get addicted or get into all such things only in this period. So, main reason is causes of drug or alcohol use in adolescence is curiosity and experimentation. They want to, and the need for adventure and excitement. That may be due to the peer pressure also. To escape facing problems, to stress from pressure to excel in academics or examination, television, movies, newspaper, internet, nothing gives a positive or nice information. Everything is negative only. So unstable, unsupportive family structures and peer pressure. Addiction. So see the psychological attachment. I mean, addiction, they can always be treated addiction, but for that the patient should be willing and he should cooperate. A temporary feeling of well-being and the drugs and alcohol. With repeated use of drugs, the tolerance level of receptor increases. Thus, the receptor respond only to higher dosage, leading to greater intake and addiction. Um, so more and more you have to take as the time pass. Dependence, the tendency of the body to manifest a characteristic and unpleasant withdrawal syndrome of if regular dose of drugs or alcohol is abruptly discontinued. So it should not be done like that. Slowly it should be done. And because I mean the results in anxiety, shakiness, nausea, sweating, side effects will be there. So dependence leads to social adjustment problems. So effects of drug alcohol abuse. So you can find out from these symptoms whether a person is drug addicted or not. Reckless behavior, vandalism and violence, coma or death due to respiratory failure, heart failure or cerebral hemorrhage. Drug mixed with alcohol can cause death, damage of nervous system or liver cirrhosis. Mental and social distress to family and friends, because they'll stay detached. They won't they won't participate in anything in the family. They'll be kind of detached. So it gives distress to entire family. So the social problems like stealing and spreads of infectious disease, like etc. Example, AIDS and hepatitis B, etc. So use of drugs, alcohol by pregnant women affect the fetus, the fetal alcohol syndrome. So loss of sexual drive and necrospermia. Misuse of drugs by athletes or narcotic, analgesic, anabolic, steroids, etc. So warning signs of drugs or alcohol abuse in adolescent period. Drop in academic performance and absence from school. Lack of interest in personal hygiene. Withdrawal and isolation. Depression, fatigue, aggressive and rebellious behavior. Change in sleeping and eating habits. Fluctuation in weight, appetite, etc. Loss of interest in hobbies. Deteriorating relationship between family and friends. Side effects of anabolic steroid abuse in males. I can share this. You can go through these things, children. I mean, you have to know. You have to make a note of these things. Only then you will know for sure. Okay. Prevention and control. Avoid undue peer pressure. I mean, don't at this age. In teenage, you don't need very good friends, and you don't have to necessarily hang around with friends all the time. You have your own work. You have to concentrate on your work. Avoid undue peer pressure, education and counseling, help from parents and peers. So anything you look up to your parents and get advice from them. Do things according to what your parents direct you to do. And avoid as much as possible. Please avoid any media like TV, YouTube or whatever. Don't see all that. Looking for dangerous signs, seeking professional and medical help such as psychological, psychiatrist, de-addiction and rehabilitation programs. So with that, we have come to end of this chapter. And one more chapter is it, that also we will do. Microbes in human welfare. So microbes in household products, microbes in industrial, and all these things we are going to see. Okay, various microbes. What are they? I mean, rod-shaped, spherical, and then the rod-shaped bacteria. I mean, has flagella and all that. I mean, I mean, he's describing its shape. And then various microbes is bacteriophage, and then virus with respiratory infections and all that is there. Various microbes and fungal colonies of bacteria growing in petri dish. 1 second. Okay, lactobacillus or lactic acid bacteria. It converts milk to, all the microbes are not pathogens. Some of them are very, very useful to human beings. That's those huge useful ones only we are going to see now. So all this time we have been for in the disease and infections, we saw the pathogens or the organisms which are harmful to human being. Now we will say microbes which are useful to mankind. It converts milk to curd. Which one? The lactobacillus. And then fresh milk can be converted into curd by adding some curd. I mean, all these things you already know. In stomach, LAB helps to check pathogens. So this helps in, it also increases vitamin B12, and it also helps in checking the pathogens. Means, it keeps on control. And then bacterial fermentation, that is anaerobic respiration in dough, is used to make foods such as dosa, idli, etc. For it helps in fermentation. And that kind of fermentation, like when the proper fermentation is done and you intake the such fermented foods, your gut health improves. Puffed up appearance of dough is due to the production of CO2, carbon dioxide gas. All right. So they bakers use yeast. That is, it is used for to make bread by fermenting dough. So those organisms are useful for making bread. And so like that, there are many microbes which are useful for cheese. The various bacteria are there which help in bacteria, fungi are all helpful in making all this. Now the microbes in industrial products. How they are used is production of beverage, antibiotics, etc. on an industrial scale requires growing microbes in very large vessel. Fermenters, they say. So fermented beverage, you all know, beer, wine, etc. All those alcohol, whiskey, brandy, rum, gin, whatever, they all have this fermented beverage, and it has microbes there. And then antibodies, antibiotics, medicines, it has microbes. Penicillin is a very important medicine even today. That is the old this thing, but even today it's consumed in a different form with other medicines. Now, chemical enzymes and other bioactive molecules as organic acids, that is acid producer microbes include microbes. Organic acid is Aspergillus niger, that is a fungus. Organic acid is citric acid, and Acetobacter aceti is a bacterium, and that is acetic acid. And Clostridium butylicum is butyric acid, that is a bacterium. Lactobacillus again is a bacterium, and that is lactic acid. So all these are organic acids. Alcohol is an yeast used to produce ethanol. And some enzymes like lipases used in detergent formulation help to remove oily stains from laundry. So these things are very common. So I'm going to the next chapter. I'm sorry, next subdivision. Microbes in sewage treatment. So, sewage municipal waste water contains large amount of organic matter and microbes. So, sewage is treated by sewage treatment plants to make it less polluting. It includes two stages: primary treatment and the secondary treatment, that is the biological treatment. The primary treatment is the physical removal of particles. It includes removal of floating debris by sequential filtration and the removal of grit, soil, and small pebbles by sedimentation. And then the secondary treatment is primary effluent is passed through the large aeration tanks and constantly agitated. This allows vigorous growth of useful aerobic microbes into flocks, that is, bacteria associated with fungal filament to form mesh-like structures. These microbes consume the organic matter in effluent. This reduces the biochemical oxygen demand of the effluent. Now this one, the biochemical oxygen demand amounts to amount of oxygen consumed bacteria to oxidize all the organic matter in 1 liter of water. So that is how it is it's calculated. So it's a measure of organic matter present in water. The greater the BOD, more is its polluting potential. And the effluent is then passed into the settling tank where the bacterial flocks or sediment. This sediment is called activated sludge. A small part of the activated sludge is pumped back into the aeration tank to serve as the inoculum. The remaining sludge is pumped into the large tank called the anaerobic sludge digesters. Here, some anaerobic bacteria digest the bacteria and fungi in the sludge by producing gases like CH4, H2S, and CO2. These gases form the biogas. I mean, they even use it for, some places they even use the biogas for the gas like cylinders, in place of cylinders for kitchen use. The effluent is released into natural water bodies like rivers and streams. So you may get questions in these things. The Ministry of Environment and Forest has initiated Ganga. Yeah, that is, it's not initiated, it's been really cleaned now. Biogas is a mixture of gas, mainly CH4, produced by the microbes such as methanogens. Methanogens grow anaerobically on cellulosic material and produce CH4 along with carbon dioxide and hydrogen. So this methanobacterium. The methanobacterium is found in the anaerobic sludge and rumen of cattle. So biogas is used for cooking and lighting. The cattle drug contains these bacteria, so dung is used to produce biogas. All right. So with this, he's going to describe how it is the biogas production is done. You can look at it in the book and then come prepared for the test for the next class. Okay, children. So with this, we complete. Everybody has left. Only we are there. No problem, Tatwadika. I think this was useful to you.
Ma'am.
Okay. So you will be writing a test next week in this unit.
Okay, ma'am.
All right. Okay, ma'am. Good night. See you next week. Okay. Hello, sir.